Let's try talk about poetry. There are many definitions and explanations of poetry, but I am not going to discuss about all these things. I am pointing out today here in this video that the people misunderstood what is actually the real poetry. Do you know the Dadaism? I want to introduce the movement which was started in the during the First World War, and what they wanted to say is that the poetry should be one point should be totally different from the other one already written by anybody else or by himself, the poet himself. That if you are going to write in that format or in that way, then this is not a poem at all. This is not a piece of art. What we have to do is that if you want to create something, that it should be an avant-garde. What is avant-garde? Avant-garde is a new brand one in every sense of it. Then it is a poetry, then it is a fine art, it is a piece of art. And what about he said about rhymes and schemes and meter and other things, that all these things are unnecessary in poetry, because the schemes and plan is all the time is misleading things. They are the cosmetic things in your idea. You put with a lot of cosmetics, a lot of paintings in your poetry. So, and in those schemes and in those rhymes, you can just push the untruth things, unreal things in the society and attract people towards it, though it is a falsehood, though it is not original, it is not beneficial to human being. It is not that kind of kind of a bit of things or tinge of things that can gives you aesthetic pleasure. But so many people are writing with rhymes and schemes, different types of schemes. Planning is there to write down poetry. They said these are misleading, mischievous things the people are doing in the name of poetry. In poetry, somebody is describing things, somebody is giving definitions of things. These things are not the real work or job for a poet. Other thing is that which repel me all the time, that poet tries to say that his hands is not his hands, it is the hand of the God when he is writing. His mind is propelled to write something from outside, some sources there, and propels him to write down. This is a false claim by the poet. And another thing is that poet tries to take the responsibility to teach the people, rest of the people, to teach the people so many things, how to live in this world, how a state should run, how should be the political system, economical system, social system, all the things. They are trying to do this, but it is not the job of a poet. They are misleading also. If you want to teach, if I want to get a lesson on morality, that why should I study ethics? If I want to run a country or a state, a nation properly, then why should I not study administration and political science? So why should I go to a poet? Poet does not have anything with teaching, no responsibility for a poet. What's the purpose of writing poetry? Is thus give you pleasure and create a piece of art which does not have any schemes or does not have any planning. The main crux of a poem is the metaphor, and it is not the new thing. Aristotle, before the 300 BC, Aristotle told that truth actually lies under many layers of it, and if you cannot describe in prose, and you cannot bring out the truth, the pearl from the bottom of the ocean like this, from the bottom of life, from bottom of reality, you cannot bring out. Only through metaphor you can bring out truth, which is very sweet to human life, and so your poem should have that quality of metaphorical quality, that quality of a metaphorical. Without metaphorical quality of your poem is not a poem according to Aristotle. So if I ask you that how much a big poet Nazrul or Rabindranath Tagore is, that how many poem can you find in their collection of poetry that they have written things and bring out the truth which is very sweet to life metaphorically? Nothing. Very few poems are there. Other poems are all descriptive, copied down from Quran, Hadith, and copied down from Ved and Puranas, and telling stories and defining and explaining and trying to teach people. This is very, very repelling, man. You do not have to teach people. You are not a teacher. Poet does not have that responsibility to teach people. He is not a doctor also. The poet is not a doctor either to cure all ills of a person or a society or a state. The doctors are there. The political doctors is there, that is the politician. And real doctor, go to the psychiatrist, psychologist to cure your ills. So why do you do? Why do you write? What do? You write to bring out truth, and through the means of metaphor. Without this, your poetry is not a poetry and a nonsense one. And somebody is writing to the other genre or other things like surrealism. Now I find a trend that surrealism is there, and another trend I find that breaking the picture, breaking the what it is called, breaking the imagery, and this is a new trend. But these trends are not new actually. It was written earlier. So what I am telling, then summing up, use metaphor. Only metaphorical poem is a poem, bringing out truth. Other rest of these things are only the descriptions, either descriptions or definition. Thank you very much.